Hello, and welcome to the Weekly News Hour. I'm Gabriel Mayola, your host for the evening, and tonight we will be looking at an important subject, the quest for the historical Jesus. So who was Jesus Christ? We have the Gospels and what we know as Christians, but take those away and let's look at the historical data that has been collected over time. Firstly, we will discuss the quest that we'll be adopting in our search for our historical Jesus. This quest will be the third quest. Now, some background information on this quest is one, it began in the early 1980s and has been going on until the present day. The methodology that this quest utilizes is, according to the book Jesus and the Gospels, an Introduction and Survey, a rigorous examination and application of historical criteria to determine the authenticity of gospel data, a reclamation of Jesus the Jew and interpreting him clearly against the backdrop of religious ideas and institutions of his day, and a far more nuanced and detailed understanding of the diversity of the first century Judaism. Now, some arguments that occur within the third quest are who Jesus was as a person, with some claiming that Jesus was an apocalypticist, someone who preached about the end of the world, and others believing that he was a good and charismatic teacher and social reformer. Now, according to PBS.org, there are several different tools that are used in the study of the historical Jesus, which deal with different anthropological and sociological methods. These methods involve utilizing and finding evidence, some evidence being the Roman crucifixion piercings of the hands and ankles of a body found around the time that Jesus would have been crucified. So this allows us to see that this method of crucifixion as described in the Gospels lines up with the data that is found today. According to History.com, a Roman historian named Tacitus wrote about early Christians and had this to say about them. Christus, referring to Jesus, the founder of the name referring to the Christians, was put to death by Pontius Pilate. So what did the third quest find so far on who is the historical Jesus? Well, the answer to that question depends on who you ask. Looking at the evidence where we find the historical Jesus did indeed cause problems for religious rulers of the day, and in doing so was crucified for his actions. Now, with this in mind, the historical Jesus that is found differs from scholar to scholar. One that I tend to lean towards is Marcus Borg's idea of the historical Jesus, who, according to religiousTolerance.org, views Jesus as a charismatic leader and the head of a reform movement within Judaism. Now, the third quest has had the advantage of new methodologies and findings in which to examine the historical Jesus. This includes technological advances and research methods. Though scholars are still divided on who they believe the man really was at the core, in time we may find more evidence that gives us a clear picture as to who Jesus Christ was as a man. And as far as the studying of the Gospels are concerned, the future is very bright, and according to religiousTolerance.org, major discoveries have been unearthed by archaeologists in Galilee which date to the time of Jesus' ministry, which gives us an understanding of what the culture was in the areas that Jesus taught. These new discoveries and the continual quest for the historical Jesus will give us a better understanding of the Gospels and a better understanding of the Jesus that walked the earth long ago.